Gogo. Welcome back to our YouTube channel. I am Gogo Khanyakude Mabuza Mshengu Shabalala Twanga Namavuso Panago. Thank you so much to all of those who have subscribed to the channel. Hit like, support us with your comments, and if you're new to this channel, welcome home, because that is the space that I'm trying to cultivate. It's a safe space for us to really explore our indigenous selves, to be African in Africa, and to find indigenous knowledge or wisdom that can support us in our everyday contemporary living. On today's video, I want to touch on something that is very close to most of our hearts, is how do we show up for ourselves when it comes to mental health, dealing with stress, and just overall mental fitness. We're going to explore this theme from an indigenous perspective. As I am recording this, I woke up to a morning which could be said to be gloomy. It is rainy and there's a certain level of cold, which is out of character for the summer. So with the rain being something that is said to be gloomy, so as we journey today, what I would really like to start to touch on is how did our ancestors of antiquity and even in current times incorporate a holistic approach to mental wellness and to dealing with the everyday stresses of life. Anxiety is something that a lot of us experience because we always think about what is going to happen in the future, where am I at now. It affects so many parts of our lives, from how we see ourselves, how we relate with our family, in our community, and just show up in the world in terms of also what is our purpose. That can cause a lot of stress and anxiety around, am I doing what I'm supposed to be doing? Is there something I'm missing? I'm going to touch on a few points which are easily accessible for everyone to start to, as a way to find a way to come home to yourself, because that is the space we're trying to cultivate on this channel, is a sacred space, a safe space to be able to explore without judgment, guided by kindness, compassion, and just curiosity around what is there and available to us, which our ancestors have gifted to us, which we carry in our DNA. Today's theme I'd like for us to explore is, in our ancestral wisdom traditions and in our indigenous wisdom, how is it that we as indigenous people worked with the idea, or how have we as indigenous people responded or worked with themes such as stress, mental health, and mental fitness? I am going to be sharing a few practices that we can explore and we can cultivate in order to come home to ourselves, in order to hold space for ourselves, and in order to also support ourselves. I've woken up today when I'm shooting this video, and it is a rainy day. So for some of us during the summer, when it rains and there's a bit of cold, we can take it as it is gloomy weather. But the first thing that is important is that we learn the power of naming things from the indigenous, because naming things sets a certain sort of an intention. So if I contracted the fact that I've woken up today on a day where it is rainy and it's a bit cold, there's immediately a sense that comes to me where I'd want to perhaps be indoors to feel, comfortable. So that is the invitation from time and space, is how can I create a sense of comfort, a sense of warmth for myself, and also supported by the rain. How can I also align with the natural cycle of the weather in order to be able to shed and cleanse, because rain does represent shedding and cleansing as well. So perhaps waking up, what I would typically do, or what I have done today, is that I've just sat and listened to the rain, experienced the rain, felt what is there within me that is calling for me to sort of be a bit gentler, be a bit more comfortable with. I woke up with a lot of anxiety today, and just sitting in the rain, allowing for the sound of the rain as it falls to just give me that sense of comfort, that sense of warmth, had an immediate qualitative shift. It did not heal the anxiety, but it allowed for me to be able to feel held in that anxiety that I was feeling just by connecting to the weather. These are one of the ways that our ancestors of antiquity, and currently in our ancestral wisdom traditions, we cultivate practices where we call upon that which is available to us in order to help us align and attune to our highest intention and to our higher selves, and to come home to ourselves. Working, a lot in Dumba, I've seen that a lot of people struggle with holding space for themselves, showing up for themselves. And I'm going to mention a few more practical tools that you can start to explore. Always with a beginner's mind, always with open curiosity, and always with non-judgment of what you are feeling. And just trying to see that when I sit in this practice, what is it that moves through me? One of the most beautiful practices that I learned from Ubutwasa is waking up before the sunrise, when everything is still and still quiet, and walking out and taking in the first breath of the day, and taking in all of that stillness as a preparation for the hustle and bustle of our everyday lives. Also supported by that is the importance of touching the earth, ukghata mabala, kunyatsela, with our feet, because that is a beautiful, beautiful earthing practice. It has many, many health benefits that you could explore for yourself if you just allowed to open to the experience. So just a simple practice such as waking up at sunrise, as I'm mentioning, walking out to take the first breath, walking barefoot and really connecting with the earth within which you live in, already makes you feel present, makes you feel connected, because we are of this world. We are called to live in this world, but oftentimes we feel lost and displaced as if we do not belong in this world. That is one of the practices that is really readily available to all of us, and you can explore anywhere and anytime. Going also into understanding that from there we often start our day with ukuphahla. And what ukuphahla is the will and the word. It's the setting of an intention. It's the expressing of what it is that you need or you are desiring of that day. So to begin, when one phahlas, you are firstly reflecting. You are sitting in deep reflection, because when you phahla, you speak around what is moving through you in the immediate, what is moving through you as general themes. Where is it that you are struggling or you are sitting uncomfortably? So just in vocalizing it through phahla, or what others call prayer, or entreaty, what you are doing is you are sitting also in deep meditation. It is a release meditation. It is a grounding meditation, because you are allowing for yourself to explore the expressive self of being able to speak of the things which exist and are shifting through you. And the beauty of Ukupahla is that it is a practice that you can cultivate on your own. So you are also not held accountable to have to explain what you are feeling, explain what you are desiring. There's a safety, there's a sacredness to it. Ukupahla is really a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful way. There are also tools which we use when we pasha. So these tools could namely be snuff, which is something that comes off the earth, which is tobacco. Tobacco also does have some certain properties within it that are able to sort of release and give us a certain sort of a high. There is mpepo that you can burn. In the burning of mpepo, it has also properties that are energy clearing, properties also that are calmative. Then we could incorporate things such as the use of water. Water is the life force of creation. Everything is reliant or dependent or uses water in its creation processes. So when you pasha and you have that visual representation of water, you are basically calling upon the essence of life and connecting with the essence of life. You can then go on to incorporate some fire, the element of fire, such as a candle. A candle, and like a fire represents that warmth, represents forging, represents creation. I've spoken of the elemental forces of creation in previous videos. So if you'd like to understand the elemental forces that we use in all of our pasha, you can explore the videos that I've posted before in the playlist that's called the elemental forces of creation. Towards another way in which we as Indigenous people intentionally build safe spaces for ourselves to express, a space where we know that this is our happy place, this is our place of release, a multi-purpose space where you can just step in and be yourself with no fear and no judgment, which is the importance of having a space or a shrine or indumba or msamo, where you can go and you know that this is a specified sacred space for me, where I can explore all that is shifting and moving through me. How wise our ancestors were, because all of these are approaches that incorporate nature healing, such as the grounding exercise, the breathing exercise, working with the breath, working with the earth, meeting the sun at sunrise. These are also somatic or body-based approaches, because as you walk, connecting and grounding with your feet, this is actually a movement meditation. It's a movement practice where you use movement to be able to sense into what is there in my body. Am I waking up and feeling certain, strains on my physical body? As I am moving, am I recognizing that something in my emotive self is needing for me to sort of sit in and to explore? In my mind, as I am walking, am I pacing fast because my mind is running? And all of this supported by the physical body, the somatic, where you can use the pace of how you walk, even just standing, to be able to slow down, to try and start to regulate that which may feel overwhelming to you. We also use sound as a very important aspect to holding space for us. So song is something and that is widely known to have beautiful, beautiful, beautiful gift that it gives to us, is that song is able to change our physical states. It's able to change our emotional states, even able to change our mental states. It's something that when you hear a certain song, it evokes something in you. And this is just by being, a passive receiver of the sound. So we believe in cultivating being the one that actually uses the sound, singing a song, perhaps waking up with the song. And for me today, a song that I've woken up with is one that takes me to where I am going, which is to Cape Town tomorrow. And the song just keeps on coming that Kumhlophe siyelwandle, oh siyelwandle, kumhlophe siyelwandle, oh siyelwandle, kumhlophe, ebabe siyelwandle, kumhlophe. Even now I am smiling because what the song says is kumhlophe siyelwandle. It is clear, it is pure. We are going to the ocean. And just that call and response already as it vibrates through me, it gives me this feeling of hori, hey, kumhlophe man, siyelwandle. And it immediately makes me understand in the languaging of it that the song that may have found me feeling in some sort of a dark space or feeling anxious and whatever, the moment I take the words out and say kumhlophe, it is an in calling upon the purifying energy of the ocean. Because I love the ocean so much, I am immediately transported there. I am setting an intention. I am informing also all of myself that we are going to the place that we love. And in going there, let it be a place that purifies you. Ah, Lozi is so amazing. I've shared three or four easy practices that you can cultivate and you can explore yourself in order to be able to hold space and support yourself. So I've mentioned the use of breath work and connecting with nature and taking in the first breath. I've mentioned grounding, just exploring what it's like to touch the earth with your feet as a movement exercise. I've mentioned having a space which is dedicated and known as a safe space for where you can go and phahla, sit in deep reflection, sit in meditation, also sit in setting the intention, and also in expressing and working on that expressive body where you explore all that is there within you without fear of favor, judgment, or of having to have to respond or be questioned around it. Because when you speak, spirit listens deeply. I've mentioned sound and how it is that you can use song in the form of call and response, in the form of a chant, to be able to take ownership and to call into the healing properties of sound, which are healing on a body, emotional, and mental level, and on a spiritual level. These are a few, tips and guides in which you can explore, which are really easy, and see what it is that it benefits you. For all those who continue to watch the channel, please keep on watching, and please do not forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell. Also, if you have any questions around this video or you would like a more in-depth exploration around this, please definitely let me know what you are feeling, what is moving through you in the comments, and if this is something that you find of value, I will definitely go and sit deep in it as a series that we explore. Thokozani bogogo nabomkhulu, ngiyadibongela ngingogo Khanyakude mabuza mshengu shabalala tfonga lamavuso lophanako. Lapho sikhanya khona sikhanya kude, sikhanya lapho khanya khona ngikhanya kude, lapho ngikhanya khona ngikhanya kude mina ngikhanyizwe lo ngikhanya kude khanya kude